With news on plans and more, this is Pro Wrestling Central. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. On Facebook, Salvatore Wrestling Promotions addressed a confrontation involving WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas, writing, "Thank you everyone again for supporting Toy Stop NYC. Even though we had a blizzard warning, it was a good show and I'm happy with the outcome of it. Unfortunately, there was a situation where Tony Atlas and his vendor had a public disagreement in front of fans, talent, and other vendors. This situation was embarrassing, and Dylan Hines will not be welcomed to future shows. Stay tuned in the next month or so on Toy Stop 2 later this year." Hines responded, "First weekend back in the business and all of you were talking about me. Glad to be hated, as I'll be remembered. Tony Atlas-ish, the way he cowered down like the bitch he is. I am the most powerful man in wrestling. Glad I won't smell his stench again. Bye." Mentioning what is next for AAA, WrestleVote said, "Sources indicate WWE will bring the AAA brand to the United States for the first time under its ownership, with their Saturday Night Fox show scheduled for here in the States on April 11th. As with all AAA on Fox tapings, this show is set to feature a triple taping. While the source did not have direct knowledge of the event's location, Texas was speculated as a leading option. I don't think there's going to be large NBA-size arenas. They're going to be smaller-size venues similar to NXT. Going over changes and plans for WWE now that Bronson Reed is out of action due to injury, Ringside News wrote that Bronson Reed's injury didn't just derail his own WrestleMania momentum, it also forced WWE to make immediate creative changes and rewrite a key storyline tied to one of the company's ongoing mysteries. Reed suffered a bicep injury during the February 23rd episode of WWE Raw in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. The injury was serious enough that WWE had to quickly change the planned outcome of the match. According to WrestleVote's Radio on Fightful Select, Reed was originally scheduled to win the qualifier before the injury forced WWE to pivot mid-match and give the victory to Jey Uso instead. The report also revealed that Reed's injury didn't just affect the match result. It disrupted a larger storyline involving the Masked Mystery Man and Logan Paul. It was also noted that both the Masked Man and Logan Paul were originally planned to factor into the finish of the match. However, Reed's injury forced WWE to abandon those plans, and the Masked Man storyline is now expected to undergo significant changes as creative adjusts. With Reed sidelined, WWE is now scrambling to rework both WrestleMania plans and the direction of the Masked Man angle. The injury removed Reed from a major spot and created ripple effects across multiple storylines tied to WrestleMania season. Reed's injury is already being viewed as a major disruption behind the scenes, especially considering how heavily he was being positioned heading into WrestleMania 42. WWE will now need to adjust its creative direction without one of Raw's rising powerhouses. Asked how she feels about people posting or selling content online, former WWE star Caitlyn said this on her YouTube channel, "I don't judge anybody. I really don't. I have no judgment. It's somebody else's life. It's not for me to decide. I've done implied nudity and some topless photo shoots. Very tasteful. Never anything super erotic. What really sucks is that a couple of years ago, I don't know who it was, whether it was someone I knew or someone who hacked my iCloud, but someone accessed photos of me that I did not want public and put them on the internet. It was devastating. It was such an invasion of privacy. It wasn't my decision. It wasn't my choice. That's not what I wanted for myself. There have been times at autograph signings where someone has brought a printed out photo of one of those leaked images for me to sign. It used to really trigger me. It hasn't happened often, but enough for me to know how to handle it now. It was embarrassing, and it hurt because it wasn't my decision to share share that. Everyone has private things on their phone, right? Those are for my eyes, or for whoever I choose to share them with, like my husband or partner. But I don't judge anyone who chooses to do nude artistry or post nude photos. Who cares? It's not my life. I don't feel strongly about what others decide to do. I just know that for me, that's not a choice I make. Another former WWE star replied to this on X, as Shelly Martinez said, "I know exactly how she feels. Sucks. I've refused to sign once and the fan was so about it." Acknowledging a joke from the internet, Cody Rhodes said he didn't get the nickname Raheem for nothing during a promo on SmackDown weeks ago. Now he is saying this about it, telling Jonathan Hood, "I had told my wife that I might say it. I felt bad because I told her and then she said, 'Oh, you have to say it. It's funny. I didn't want to come at Roman or Punk in an adversarial way. I'm not wrestling either of you. You guys are wrestling each other and it's awesome. I wanted to come at it with a little bit of levity because I knew others were going to come at it from a different perspective, and I thought that was funny, but then I felt bad because I don't ever want anybody to get married to a line. I'm like, oh, well, if I can't say that, I did my field testing of it, and I hope I didn't offend anybody with it. I very much stood by it, and when you see a Manchester United in the bio and an anime picture as the avatar complaining about it, I gotta ask, what are we really complaining about here? This is more of a positive joke than there could ever be about gifted men. I can't really be mad at that, and I can't really walk that one back. I said, I'm not gonna spend my road to WrestleMania talking about two other guys. This is where it ends for me, and I picked a great place to do it. Charlotte, North Carolina was the place, so yes, I said it, and that's where I'm at. After announcing his retirement, AJ Styles is going into the WWE Hall of Fame and has also signed a new deal with the promotion, according to PW Insider. It is believed that Styles will work behind the scenes and specifically help develop new talent. He said this regarding his status with WWE on Talkin' Shop. "I'm still going to be working with WWE. That's not going to change. I have these dreams of helping out young talent. If somebody is not ready once they get here, it's my job to hopefully help them get to that point to where they can do it and they are confident when they step into a WWE ring. Being able to help with that is a blessing." With an open challenge announced for Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, this was said on WrestleVotes Radio about who might face Lesnar. Basically, it was Paul Heyman promising destruction for whoever wants it come WrestleMania. This just feels like they have no idea what to do with Brock Lesnar at this point. Card continues to shuffle, as everybody's well aware. Maybe the Brock Lesnar decision has yet to become official, set in stone, however you want to put it creatively. So they knew he was going to be in Atlanta, and they said, well, go out there and just issue an open challenge for WrestleMania. They did put the dates that he was going to be on the show for the remainder of the time through WrestleMania, about 5 dates, come the month of March. Well, he will show up to Monday Night Raw, and I guess the plan is he's going to stand in that ring and hopefully somebody comes out. Do you feel like, I don't know, for the first 4 weeks he'll stand in that ring and Heyman will cut a promo? Nobody will come out. And then the last Raw before WrestleMania, he's going to get his answer. Going to go all the way to WrestleMania as a mystery, or will somebody come out right away to start an actual program? I was really looking forward to what was going to be hopefully the kickoff to Brock Lesnar's program leading into WrestleMania. If they're going to do that 6 more times from WrestleMania, that is beyond lazy. Then you're going to have an open challenge and we have to wait till WrestleMania to see who's going to then grow the balls to take on Brock Lesnar. You're not going to give me any kind of program. You're not going to give me any kind of story, nothing. Just, oh, I want to take on Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. We're going to get a 5-minute match and that's it. I think that's a complete waste of Brock Lesnar. There better be something on that segment where Brock Lesnar comes out and we get a little bit of something from somebody. If it is Obafemi, if it is a Sheamus or a Rusev or somebody, I want a story and I want a program. I think Brock should be in a proper program. So start to build that as soon as possible. Make the decision. Whoever it is, make the decision. talking about WWE's plans for WrestleMania 42. This was said on WrestleVotes Radio. From what we're hearing, there's a lot of panic going on in Stamford right now, and I don't use that word lightly. Panic may even be underselling it. There are constant meetings, constant discussions, constant updates being given left and right as they try to finalize this WrestleMania card. Normally, by this point, a good portion of the WrestleMania card is set, locked in, and everybody knows where things are headed. That is not the case this year. Things are still very much in flux. This isn't just about creative direction. There are business elements tied into this. There are marketing plans, there are merchandise plans, there are promotional campaigns that all depend on knowing what these matches are going to be. You have multiple departments waiting on final decisions so they can proceed with what they need to do, and those decisions just aren't finalized yet. These decisions, we're told, have to be finalized this week. There really isn't much more time to delay, especially with WrestleMania being right around the corner. There's a lot of moving parts right now, a lot of last minute changes, and it's forcing them to have meeting after meeting after meeting trying to figure out what the final card is going to look like. They're working against the clock at this point. They need to get these directions made so everything else can fall into place. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.